It's 1848.
Got it.
The gold rush is happening. Satch, Bombs, and Cool are bumbling along a home front recently aborted. Maybe a slave ship? Don't want you complaining after the fact. Hold on one sec. Royce, get out of here! Get out of here! Wow.
That was a lot, guys. Sorry. If you didn't, I'm glad you didn't.
I don't want you complaining after the fact. Logan Paul was a good guy. He was a good guy out there. That's what Floyd said. He was like, you know, he was a good boxer. He was
just better than I expected. You know?
He was a good, he's a good boxer. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
And that's when you say, when it's like, when a nigga kind of hits you with some shit you weren't expecting, like, oh yeah, good guy.
Yeah, like when Chad put his hand up and wanted to dap afterwards. He's like, hey, it was good. That was good stuff.
That was hilarious. What was he doing? Did y'all see that?
Chad, go back to your corner, bro. You have to.
Cool. Y'all saw? You saw that?
Get your wits about
Chad
you, bro.
Ochocinco, Chad Johnson.
Oh my God.
Fam.
Hey, I gave him respect though. How about let's talk about that before we get into the fan questions real quick.
Chad looked good.
I gave Chad respect. Respect, Chad.
But he was looking.
I would have gave you dap. I wouldn't have left you hanging, bro.
Yo, Chad been sparring for so long.
Oh man.
Yo, respect to Chad Johnson. He gave some inspirational speech. I wasn't hearing that shit. Bro. You can't get knocked out. But the thing is, I'll box Chad Johnson. That's the difference between other niggas that talk shit. I'll box that nigga.
It sounds like you'll box everyone. Who won't you box?
Jake Paul.
What?
Jake Paul's a problem.
Let's get
That's
to
the problem.
Get to the fan
child.
questions right now, please.
That's the problem, child.
I can't believe this guy.
All right, we'll save that.
I actually can't believe what he's saying.
We'll save Jake Paul versus the mummies fighting for later. We want to get into some fan questions. Matt, pull up your phone too. Look.
Thank you. Yo, easy.
But in your criticism before the podcast, I said come prepared.
And here we are, ready to go.
Fan questions.
First one comes from my boy.
You're going to start with the only...
MCM5 Mikey from the Naval Academy. Salute it and respect it.
Mike Ball.
Just past our Memorial Day recently.
A member of Bikini Bottom.
Support the troops, okay? He says, which fighter beats the most doonies down? Do you know what that means?
No.
Okay. This is good. This is good.
What's the term doonies mean?
The doonies down. Beating doonies down. Can you not guess what that might imply?
Something in my eye.
Beating doonies down.
There's got to have something.
Splez. VR.
The term beating doonies down, I'm assuming, has something to do with a derogatory term.
Derogatory term.
Towards
derogatory.
The female race.
It's towards a specific thing that females have doonies beating them down, per se.
You do you on this one, bro. I have nothing to do with any
which
doonies.
UFC fighter beats them the most down? Who would you guess beats down the most doonies?
That's Conor McGregor.
It's not Conor.
Conor McGregor
actually
beats down the
Conor
most
cheats
doonies.
a lot. He has a wife though.
Mike Perry.
He has a girlfriend. Nope, not Perry. Not Conor.
All right, who beats the doonies? Who beats the doonies?
The answer is I was going through the roster thinking about
this. Is terrible. This is terrible.
I have the roster pulled up.
This is terrible that we start.
Mikey,
Mike Ball.
no,
Mike
Mikey.
Ball. Wait. I want to talk to Mike Ball because we know Mike Ball. All right. So since Mike Ball has taken the slot for fan questions for our podcast, for the first question we're answering is Mike Ball, and he decided to bring doonies to the table. I'm talking to you, Mike. Are you serious, bro? Are you serious?
I think that it's Paulo Costa. No argument. That's a good question, though, bro. It's a good question. I think I gave a good answer. If you don't know Paulo Costa, look him up, ladies. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Matt believes that his appearance is similar to that of Paulo Costa.
I didn't say that.
That is what he believes.
Didn't say that.
I've heard him say it
Didn't
himself.
say it, though. Didn't say that.
This podcast is going to be...
Who's your answer?
I'm letting demons out.
Who's your answer?
Your demons, too.
Which fighter beats the most doonies down?
I told you.
Uh-huh.
But let me think. I don't want to even spend...
Yeah.
Thank you for the question, Mike Ball. Everybody who's still with us, thank you for surviving that. Moving on.
Support the troops.
We're going to start with some of the first comments. If you submitted a comment, thank you so much. You can submit more comments by following us at Sports and Rap Podcast and then commenting or DMing.
Often we will ask for questions like we did.
So, the first comment we got on our question that asked us for questions,
besides Mikey's,
was from a female named Lizzie Fit 00, and she said, "Send pic."
Here it is. Send it. Send it to her, bird.
You ever send something?
Wow.
You ever send something?
No.
All right. Thank you for your question, Lizzie Fit. Lizzie Fit. Next question we got comes from...
So equally good question from Bird. Let's just say that. Equally good question as mine, except mine was on topic.
But you see how quick I moved on?
Okay.
Regardless. The first real question we got for the Sports and Rap Podcast, episode 1, came from Sydney Long _0. And she says, "Who is your favorite person and why is it Sydney Long?"
These are great questions.
I'm just trying to launch my podcast. All right, I'll answer the question. Sydney Long has a lot of nice animals. For being honest. It's Honesty Pod. It's for the animals.
You didn't beat her doonies down.
Rude. Matt knows Sydney.
I'm sorry, Sydney.
Sydney. Matt's talking about beating your doonies down.
Oh, man.
Next question. I like Sydney for animals. First real question coming in. Sports and Rap Podcast. Thank you for submitting. This question comes from Dante Douglas. He says, NBA Mount Rushmore. Let me think about it. Automatically, you got MJ LeBron. That's number 1 and 2 all time. Number 3, I go Wilt Chamberlain. He's automatic. Average 50 and 25 in a season. 100 points in a game. Average center was 6'10 to 6'11 at that time. I don't want to hear it. There was one good team. That's why he didn't have championships.
He used to
only one to block Kareem Skyhook. I don't want to hear it.
multiple times.
50-inch vertical.
They invented the block stat for him.
500-pound bench press. He's the biggest freak of nature ever. Wilt Chamberlain is on NBA Mount Rushmore. 4th spot. Larry Bird.
Wow.
He deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
The first great.
Say it. White man. Just say it. Just say it. Say it.
White man.
It was his first great life's the greatest.
The first great white. Respect to Jerry.
Respect.
The logo.
Respect to him. But that little
the
crossover you doing on that logo was ugly.
All jokes aside, it's not about his race. Larry Bird was averaging 29, 10, and 8. At a time when no one was getting triple doubles. No one was doing that at the time. Yes. He was white while he did it.
He was. And if you go watch some footage, it didn't matter where his feet were. That was before, people were shooting the 3 to shoot the 3. He would just catch the ball, shoot the ball. It didn't matter. He'd just catch the ball. His feet would be on the line, offset, turn sideways. He'd catch the ball and fire that thing, and his shot was just so pretty. I mean,
there's footage of NBA players talking about Larry Bird telling them what move he was going to do before he did it. Like, he comes out of the timeout, says, "I'm going to jab left, go right, and pull up in your face." What does he do, man?
And he'd give it to you right One jab right, go left.
No.
in your
He
mouth.
jab left and go right because that's what I said.
I don't. You might want to listen to that back.
I'm so happy we're recording. Anyway, that's my Mount Rushmore. I got Larry Bird, I got LeBron James, I got Michael Jordan, and I got Wilt Chamberlain. NBA Mount Rushmore.
Can I give mine?
Join the pod.
I've got Mike, Bron, Wilt, and Kristaps Porzingis, baby. Don't forget the Zing God Zinger! Boom!
What y'all think
Big
about
time. Big time Zinger, baby. Big time Zinger fan, baby.
that? Matt's not where anybody should expect.
You better respect
deep.
my basketball thoughts. Listen to them and take them in.
There we have it. Next question. This one comes from George Andino. Shout out young George.
Right.
Shout out everybody that asked a question.
Yeah, right. Get in the comment. Get active, guys. I appreciate you guys.
No, I didn't even shout out Big Bone who asked a question. Shout out
Right.
Big
Come
Bone.
on now. That's crazy. But wait,
Shout out Rasta Reverend the GOAT. The greatest UFC player next to Ed Parker.
He's live basically every night, guys. You got to go get in the stream.
Next to Ed Parker.
Ed Parker.
Eddie Pac.
Eddie Pac.
But he's pretty good. I've knocked Rasta.
Easy. Let's before we start slandering people up here.
Regardless.
He's professional UFC video game players. He's just out here slandering their names. Let's just move along.
Have I not?
Let's move along. We've all knocked out our fair share of professionals. We're not going to start name calling.
I wouldn't say you as much as I, but George Andino comes in with the next question. A great guy, a friend, a former teammate, a man who I hooped alongside. One of the smoothest lefty strokes I've seen.
And corner three balls. Shout out George, bro. Seriously, I love it.
Enough about George.
All right. Well.
He said, "Who's the top 5 rappers of all time?" I wish I prepared more for these questions, but let's get it.
These are great questions.
Top 5 rappers of all time. This is in no order. Eminem has to be on the list. Jay-Z has to be on the list. Biggie has to be on the list. Kendrick has to be on the list. Royce the 5'9" has to be on the list. Eminem, Biggie, Jay-Z, Royce the 5'9", and Kendrick Lamar. Off the top of my head, that's the greatest 5 rappers of all time. You got a list?
I've got Saturated. This is in order. Saturated. Wintertime. Stove God Cooks.
Facts.
Eminem, Jay-Z.
Respect it.
That's
Respect
right.
it. Respect it,
That's
nigga.
right.
Word up. Zone. Next question comes from.
I gotta get some of mine.
Do you want to get the next one? Or
Nope.
you want me to get the next one?
I think you got more than mine.
All right. Next one comes from. It's like Christmas presents, but in reverse. Right? You always got a couple more presents. No?
Yeah.
Who's the reason for the Suns' success? Book or CP3? You don't know shit.
I do.
What you know?
Devin Booker is one of the greatest scorers to be breathing air in the league right now. That's what I know. And he plays for the Phoenix Suns. Also, Christopher Paul needs to stick to managing players in the league. His old ass is about one step away from tearing that knee and 2 years away from being done with basketball.
I got niggas here saying facts.
Yeah, thank
After
you.
you
Thank
said
you.
that shit.
Thank you.
Jesus
Thank
Christ.
you.
All right, I'm definitely going with Chris Paul then. The Suns perennially
There it is.
perennial playoff missers. Without the what's the term? When you add the LY.
A number 2.
No, the LY. What's it? No, let's we got a room full of intelligent niggas. What's the term when you add the LY?
To a word.
On a word. When you add the LY. It's not an adjective, it's not a verb. What's it called?
An adverb?
It's an adverb.
But not always, right? Or always?
You're the closest thing we got.
All right. We'll cut that. We'll cut that. Forget that.
No, that's good.
I'm sorry to all my former teachers if you this is awful.
Perennially, they missed the playoffs. Without Chris is the point. You fucking idiots.
Whoa.
This is what I'm saying. No playoffs for the Suns.
Without CP3.
Without CP. Huff, listen to me. Huff, you my boy from the North Zone. What's good? Listen to me. These Suns were nowhere to be found. I wouldn't talk about the sun unless it rose without CP3, nigga. Next question.
Wow.
You want to do the next one?
Who would win in a fight? Colby Covington or LeBron? That is a great question. Also, this question comes from B. Tanner.
That's a
Jay.
great guy. Your questions, you got less, but they're better.
Yeah, they're great.
My niggas were bullshitting. And if you wanted these questions to be private, you have to DM us. We have a couple.
Yeah, sorry
private
I'm mentioning you, Ben.
But you made a public comment. We're making a public podcast. That's how the internet works.
Colby or LeBron? Now, there's a couple of stipulations here, right? Because if we're talking, oh my God, a fight breaks out in the street, or are we talking these guys have got camp, they've got 9 weeks, appropriate time to prepare, gloves, right? I think what you're talking about is a camp.
Let's do both.
Okay.
Let's do both.
Okay.
But I'm gonna make this a little bit different.
Go ahead.
We got 3. You have to give me 3 answers. This is a great question. Thank you for submitting this question.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you for submitting this question, Ben. There's 3 scenarios. Scenario 1. They're training for an MMA fight. It's coming up. The UFC card is Colby Covington versus LeBron James.
UFC 269.
Colby Covington versus LeBron James.
Yep.
The next scenario, Colby Covington and LeBron James meet in a dark alley. They got beef. Who wins that fight? The third scenario, and you have to think about it. We just saw Logan Paul face Floyd Mayweather, the bigger man, being Logan, in a boxing ring.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins the boxing match?
But again, appropriate time camp, right? Not like a...
You get a camp.
Okay, got it.
LeBron gets to train
Got it.
2 to 3 months. A realistic camp.
First scenario, we've got a long camp, right? You got 9 weeks to set up a camp.
MMA.
Mixing the martial arts. LeBron is 6'9". I think he beats the dog shit out of Colby Covington. I think he beats the brakes off of Colby Covington if he has a 9-week camp.
Kobe beats LeBron in an MMA fight.
Wow.
Kobe beats LeBron in an MMA fight.
Wow. With a 9-week camp, bro? You think if LeBron focuses all of his skills into training for beating up a small white man that is a Trump supporter, you don't think he can get the job done?
Well, first of all, Kobe beat up Tyron Woodley, who represented Black Lives Matter.
He's not 6'9".
No, but he has a lot more fighting experience. But regardless, I'm going with Colby Covington in an MMA fight. Why? I have no evidence that LeBron can wrestle once it's jiu-jitsu. he can choke him out. If I'm putting my money where my mouth is, I'm picking Colby Covington to choke out or control enough and land enough strikes on LeBron. First podcast ever. We're cutting back in. I was talking about how LeBron would lose to Colby in an MMA fight. Because if LeBron is going against Colby in an MMA fight, all it takes is 1 or 2 takedowns, a couple ground and pound, and not even much ground and pound is control. A little bit of control, a little bit of manipulation. LeBron's uncomfortable. Very easily gets put in a knee bar. I'm telling you, a person who doesn't know jiu-jitsu taps out very quickly once they're on the ground rolling around with someone who is a black belt, which is what I believe Colby Covington to be. And LeBron doesn't want to lose his ACL.
And I agree. Nobody's going to, question LeBron's ability to roll around with Colby Covington on the floor. It's about, keeping him off the ground and being 6'9", and in those 9 weeks, learning how to fight at range and defend a takedown. And if he's able to do that, I think in 9 weeks, LeBron can learn the skills enough to beat him up and punish him at range. And I don't think it would be close.
LeBron James loses to Colby Covington. Drop a comment. Let us know. Follow us at Sports and Rap Podcast. Join the discussion if you're listening on audio. But let us know. Who do you think would win in an MMA fight?
Tell me,
Colby
guys.
Covington or LeBron James?
Am I casual? Am I casual for believing that LeBron would beat up Colby? I might be. Tell me. Let me know.
The next scenario, who wins in a fight? LeBron James is walking down a street, and he happens to have beef with Colby Covington.
He takes a hard right
turn
into a dark alley, like when you play Spider-Man, you can see the high ladders into the apartments. And
who wins? LeBron versus Colby Covington. They meet in an alley.
Now, this is where my opinion switches, because I believe now LeBron doesn't have the time to prepare to defend any takedowns at all. Colby swiftly takes him down. LeBron's head hits the cold, hard pavement. The fight's over. That's it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes for people to pass away in the back of an alley, is for them to get taken down hard and hit their head on the concrete. So I think LeBron loses that fight in the back of the alley.
LeBron wins in the alley.
Oh my God! What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
LeBron ain't losing in no alley.
Oh my God!
No way. You think LeBron
yes,
is losing in an alley?
Yes. Yes.
No way.
Yes, bro.
Damn.
How?
LeBron is 6'9".
Oh, there we go.
Listen, we're in an alley. No, listen, I let you go. You talk garbage, so let me talk.
Garbage.
We're in an alley.
But he
No. We're in an alley. We're in an alley. We're in an alley. We're in an alley. Nigga, I'm grabbing you. Listen. Wait. You Colby Covington. Listen. You Colby Covington.
Right. Okay. Let's do it.
Wait.
Let's reenact it, bro. Let's reenact it. Let's let my leg through.
This is realistic.
I'm Colby Covington.
Okay. I'm LeBron.
Take down.
No, this is my turn.
down.
This is my turn.
Okay.
This is my turn. And if you're listening on audio, I don't want to ruin it for you.
Okay. Let's listen then.
This is my take. We're not ruining this by some stupid reenactment. If I'm LeBron James and I see Colby Covington in an alley, it's only a wingspan of LeBron, which is how long? Almost 8 feet. We're right here, me to you. I'm grabbing a shirt. I don't need to know all these different moves. I'm grabbing a shirt and I'm throwing you with all of my strength. Which is which is way more than what you got. I don't care about any of these moves in an alley. I just need to grab that shirt, throw you, bang. That head's off the brick in an alley. It's different. It's different in an alley. And I'm LeBron James. I'm 6'9". No gloves. That haymaker that connect with a little bit of forearm and hit you on your neck, not chin, not eye, not sharp. But it's different. No gloves in an alley. I'm taking LeBron James over Colby Covington. Who you got? Drop a comment. Let me know. I'm taking LeBron James. Who you got, cool? In an alley.
Realistically, I'm going to have to go with LeBron.
You have to go with LeBron. In an alley?
What
When
about
it's-
the takedown? I don't understand why we can't understand the same thing. What if Colby just runs at him and takes him down? It's over.
Nigga, when you in it's a
No,
much
no,
muckier.
he doesn't
it's
even
a
know how to
mess.
throw a knee right now. He has no MMA training at all. He can't even throw an uppercut or a jab or a straight or a hook.
Fam, LeBron in street clothes. It's about strength. It's about grabbing the collar, nigga. In the street clothes, I can start choking you with your
about one
clothes.
takedown. Ben Askren says it all the time. He could have committed homicide on Jake Paul.
Yeah, and then Jake Paul committed homicide on him, and we're all looking like maybe not.
In a cage.
Maybe not.
In a cage. So maybe he
Maybe
could have
ba-
in a dark alley, and he takes him down
Maybe
one time, which
no,
is
but
exactly what he was talking about.
listen. Maybe Ben Askren couldn't have committed homicide on Jake Paul like he was saying.
Okay.
Maybe Jake Paul would have just started beating him over the head just like he did in the boxing ring.
Okay. But no. But then it would. But no. He would have wrestled him.
All right,
it's over.
next aspect. Now they meet in a boxing ring.
Boxing
Jake Paul.
ring. Full camp.
I mean, LeBron James versus fucking
You
who's the
love
nigga
that.
we
You
talking
love-
about?
you love that.
I love Jake Paul.
You love Jake. Jesus Christ.
I love
All right, how
Jake.
about let's just do LeBron James versus Jake
And
Paul. Who do you think
I want
wins?
no Jake, but Jake.
No,
Y'all better stop fucking with
Please
Jake
stop.
Paul.
Please stop.
Y'all better stop.
Please don't say
fucking
something
with
that
Jake
you
Paul.
regret right now, okay? We're just going to move on to scenario 3.
I want to fight Logan Paul, and that nigga just went 8 rounds with Floyd.
So,
I want no parts of Jake Paul.
scenario 3, we get a full camp. We get a full camp on both sides just to box. Who wins? I got LeBron again.
Yeah, that's Colby.
This is crazy. How in your right mind do you think that Colby could outbox LeBron James? Now there's no more leg kicks. There's no more wrestling, which is what the advantage that he would have. Now it's just purely about range and accuracy with your boxing combos. Now he's 6'9", and now he just gets to use all of that athletic advantage that he was born with. How in the world would he win this fight? How? After 9 weeks of training for LeBron, how could he do it? After all this street fight talking, you were talking about how long and athletic and strong LeBron is. What if he honed those skills into boxing? How could he beat him?
Can I talk?
Go.
Because I don't think LeBron can box. I figured he'd win in a street fight off of athleticism and strength. It takes a long time to learn to box. I think Kobe's pretty good at boxing. And I don't think LeBron's going to knock Kobe out in a boxing ring. I think it'd be pretty similar to Logan versus Floyd, with Kobe being Floyd. And that sounds crazy, but there's a similar skill difference. We've never seen LeBron box. Never.
I don't need to see him box. I don't need to see him box. I don't need to see him throw one punch, not one jab, not one straight, not one hook. I don't need to see any of it. He doesn't need to throw one combo, not a 1-2, no stiff jab. He could throw noodles at this man and he'd knock him out. I don't care. It's LeBron James. If he had 9 weeks to train boxing, he'd knock him out.
Well,
but you let us know. We want to hear from you.
Thank you. That you hit it where it was ready to be hit.
Oh, man.
Hit him.
Do we have any more questions that we want to go over?
We got a couple more questions. No rush.
No rush, huh?
What you got? Ask what you got. Don't leave anybody out. We answer all questions. This podcast is getting uploaded.
Out of all of the UFC weight classes, which one do you think is the hardest to compete in? Why? That's a really tough question.
Not really. It's welterweight.
Why?
Well, for one, you have to start at the top. They probably have the best champion in the division.
You mean in the sport? Or in the...
I mean, the welterweight probably has the best champion in the sport.
Yeah.
You look at, and that's in the men's. I think Amanda Nunes is probably the best champion in all of the sport.
Okay.
But in Jon Jones's absence, we have a newly crowned heavyweight champ. We have a light heavyweight champ who's defended once. We have Israel, who recently lost. We have a newly crowned lightweight champion. We have Alexander Volkanovski, who most people believe is the undeserving champ. And then we have all the little niggas.
Those little niggas are killers, bro.
But they're not reaching my number one. Not when Demetrius Johnson isn't there and Henry Cejudo wasn't there.
Okay.
It starts at the top. Listen, no, it starts at the top. So welterweight is the toughest division because I think it's between welterweight and lightweight. And when lightweights move to welterweight, they struggle. So I go with the welterweight division based on the fact that they have the best champion in all of the men's division. And the second best division being lightweight, which is deep in its own regards, has proven to be extremely difficult for those welterweights to move up to conquer, for those lightweights to move up and conquer the welterweight division in the same way that 145ers move up and conquer the 155 division. The welterweight division is the best division in the UFC.
Wow. I think it's the lightweight division. I think it's got the most active killers. I don't think you look at the champion per se, because if I look at the welterweight division, I look at Kamaru Usman and all of the guys that he's beaten in that class. I don't know if that class is full of cutthroat killers that are ready to grab the belt at all times, right? I don't know if that belt can change hands at any moment, which speaks to the competitiveness of the class, I think, which was also how I looked at also the light heavyweight division for a long time when Jon Jones was in it. I didn't think that was the most difficult class, even though Jon was at the top of it and just basically stomping anybody that got up there. And there were a lot of heavy hitters up there, but he was just stomping everybody in that class. And I don't think it was the most dominant because he was the most dominant champion when he was there. So I didn't think that the light heavyweight class or whoever is the most dominant champion equals the toughest. I think that where the actual belt changes the most and where the most people have a shot to be at that competitive championship level is the descriptive or how you should describe a weight class competitiveness or toughness. So that's why I believe the lightweight class, full of, personally, my favorite fighter, Dustin. McGregor's fighting in there. Oliveira at the top. I mean, there's old people in there. I mean, Tony Ferguson's number 6 in the class with McGregor at number 5. Tony
Ferguson is. This is the first time. First time I'm interrupting. Tony Ferguson is a weak number 6. He truly is. He has not won it when your number 6 has not won rounds in 3 fights. That's not a strong number 6. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it over here because the welterweight division is the hardest division. Let me tell you why. You spoke on when the title changes hands and you don't have a dominant champion. That speaks to the hardest division. But then you talked about Jon Jones. And one of the things that made Jon Jones so great was that the light heavyweight division was changing so much. They thought it was the greatest division. It was going from Shogun Rua to, what's the karate nigga?
To, talking about the Brazilian, man.
You don't know anything.
Jeez. Oh my God.
The short little karate nigga, bro.
Wow. Lyoto Machida.
Thank God. Okay, so boom, we're back. So back in the day, the light heavyweight division was considered the best division because the title was changing hands. It was going from Shogun Rua to Lyoto Machida. Then Rumble had it. What's the dude, Rashad Evans? It was like all these killers in the division. But then Jon Jones came. And he held it down. That was the lightweight division. And then Khabib came. But now Khabib's gone. So now we have Kamaru Usman as the dominant champ. And we have Colby Covington, who is a monster. and we have Stephen Thompson at number 5.
I respect.
And we have Stephen Thompson at number 5, who beat Robert Whittaker, who's number 2 at middleweight.
Different class.
And the smaller class dominated him. It's a different discussion. Welterweight is full of killers. I may take Kamaru Usman over the middleweight champ. No one thinks that the lightweight champ could beat Kamaru Usman. No one thinks that Volkanovski is coming up and taking that lightweight belt no matter what he says. Kamaru Usman's the one that we think could be the next double champ.
Why don't we think Volk can come up and take the lightweight belt?
Maybe he can. The lightweight division's pretty weak.
No, that's what I'm saying. The lightweight division is extremely balanced, and a lot of people can compete in that division. At any moment in time, someone could jump in and compete at the top for that belt. It doesn't mean that the division is not heavy. There's a bunch of people in the UFC that can compete at 155 and at any moment in time fight for that belt, and it be a firework show. At any moment in time. We have competitors from the lighter weight divisions that might jump up at any moment in time, right? That people can compete. Max Holloway could compete in there right now.
Yep, and if Max Holloway and Khabib come back, then the lightweight division is number 1. With Max Holloway and Khabib competing actively at lightweight, then that division's number 1.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Those people can compete right now. And I'm not even talking about Khabib. Scratch Khabib. Forget Khabib. I haven't said Khabib, right? But that division has the most cutthroat killers. Those people are ready to put your lights out at any moment in time. You got Rafael Dos Anjos at number 7, I believe. Like, what are we talking about? That guy.
Perfect example. Rafael Dos Anjos moved up to welterweight and turned out to be a little bit too small. Same type of fighters, same type of speed, but they're just bigger. The bigger men.
I see where you're coming from, but that guy right now is cutthroat in the lightweight division. There's no doubt. Like, it doesn't mean he's any less powerful. That division, just because he's at number 6, means that division has got 5 other people that are clearly better than him. He's a gatekeeper. He's been a gatekeeper for a lot of the second half of his career, basically, ever since he had shots at the title, came back, bounced back. He's been holding that fine line 4, 5, 6, 7 down. He's been holding the line for testing grounds of the lightweight division. When your testing grounds is Rafael Dos Anjos, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Imagine Rafael trying to beat Stephen Thompson.
Okay, so
let us know. Is it the welterweight division? Is it the lightweight division? Or someone else? Next question. You want to go? Or me?
Go ahead. You got it.
Next question comes from a special guest in the studio, our boy Cooley Wit 226. Hit him up for all visual needs if you're in the Atlanta area or beyond. My nigga's mobile.
Travel.
On the move. I tried to hit my nigga up to record a podcast. He said I was in Vegas. Swear to God. I was like, all right, well, next week, nigga. Hit me up when you're back, nigga. Hit me up when you're back. But this nigga asked me a question, so he said, who do you think is going to win the NBA Finals and why? This is the easiest question yet.
Can I start?
Started. Matt was complaining about me not giving him enough room to talk before
I think we've
the
heard
podcast.
this already. So here it is. The Brooklyn Nets, let me give you 3 reasons why. Can you guess? Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving.
James Harden's hurt.
Wow.
But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. That's right. Thanks for agreeing with me.
First time.
First good take you've had all night. We've been opposite all night.
First agreement from the brothers.
Why do you have to combat me though at first and just say that James Harden was hurt? Why can't you just agree?
Now he's nitpicking.
But why couldn't you just agree though?
But he's nitpicking.
Okay.
You're being a little baby.
Okay.
You're being a baby.
Just pointed out that you had to disagree at least a little bit.
I only speak from the heart.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
No.
You only disagree from your heart.
We're gonna take a quick break from all sports. I only speak from the heart now. It's the best method. Just tell the truth. Say what you feel.
Good.
That's all I'm doing.
Good. Next question. Or we can
running
stay
from
on
it.
this.
No,
can
we
stay
got
on
plenty
this.
of podcasts. Run from it now. I'll be here. Next question.
JJ Norris says, regarding UFC, who is the GOAT and why? The GOAT.
Regarding UFC, he says?
Yes, UFC. Not just all MMA, because, it could be someone else.
It's your question, but the answer's clear. It's Jon Jones. So I'll answer it.
Well, there you have it. We've got me. The UFC has an official website, and on their website, they have pound-for-pound rankings. Like, they do it. Like, they actually rank their fighters pound for pound.
Yeah, UFC's in a dispute with Jon Jones.
And he's still number one. Did you know that? So it must be like he's
Are
undisputed.
you agreeing with me again?
Yeah, he's undisputed number one because
Jon Jones is the greatest fighter ever?
I mean, if UFC, but for
no one's going to pass him for a long time.
it's gonna be a really long time, guys, because even on the official UFC
Good
website,
question.
it says right now that he's the number one pound for pound fighter.
And they hate him.
They don't like that guy. He hasn't booked a fight. He's moved up to heavyweight and like ponzied around in his garage, just lifting a bunch of big weights with his friends, doing a bunch of high depth squats with a lot of heavy weight.
I'm ready for our next question.
Go on.
Shout out. Was that Cooley's question last?
Yep.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait. Well, I'll come back to this one. No, that was one of your boys.
Oh, that was.
Next question. The reason
That was JJ Norris.
the reason I wanted to get to the next
Shout
question
out to the snake.
is because it's an easy one, because we're not going to answer it. It comes from John Joel. John, 96. And
John.
he owes me a trip to Atlanta.
He does. He owes both of us that.
So,
Fuck is up, John.
suck a dick.
Wow. I didn't say that.
Suck a dick. Next question.
Oh my no! Wait, you're not even gonna read it out, huh?
No, I'm not giving that nigga no pub.
Wow. First said we read
No, but
every
I love,
question.
I love I love the next person.
Wow.
I love John too.
Wow.
Let's not get it twisted.
Okay.
But the next person is dear to my heart. This question comes from T_baby_DAM_GOT back. T baby damn got back.
Got her.
She says, who is your favorite NBA player and why? You're first.
Kristaps Porzingis. He's extremely skillful. All of New York doubted him. He's shown through it. He won the skills competition. He shoots threes. And he's also 7'3" tall. He's got it all. Also, his hair never moves. He keeps that thing perfectly slicked. It's great.
You've always had like a weird love for Kristaps.
Kristaps is great.
I never got it.
Porzingis all the way.
What is it about him?
He's a great 2K player.
2K. Yeah, I would just pick Giannis, but he sucks in the playoffs. So, my favorite player in the NBA would have to be LeBron. I debate with this. I've debated with this, but at the end of the day, I go with LeBron because I want to witness the greatest player of all time. So I root for him. It's that simple.
There you go.
I grew up all the time with these guys telling me about MJ. You couldn't believe this guy. He could dunk from the free throw line. And then you grow up and you see no one you know ever dunk from the free throw line. And they tell you about all these crazy stories. And he dropped 50 and he dropped 60 versus Larry. I want to tell people about, I watched LeBron. I watched him. I grew up and I was in middle school and I remember it. I can remember it. I remember him lose. I remember him win. I remember the Twitter reactions.
I remember the Mavs series.
I remember all of it.
Oh my man, that hurt my heart, man. When he started cramping up in that thing, I was like,
I want to remember everything, and I want to be able to tell people the greatest player that ever lived. That's who I watched. So, I root for LeBron. That's my favorite player in the NBA. I'm not a LeBron stan. I think he deserves a lot more criticism than he got for losing in the first round. He's probably my favorite player, though. I like James Harden a lot. It's probably second. But before we get to the next question, momentary break. We're already recording, but this is all right. Boom, we're live again.
how about this?
Wait. Before we get back to all these questions, thank you everybody again for tuning in. If you've made it this far, you're a real one. It's dope. It's dope just chilling with my bro, answering questions, talking sports,
And a little bit of rap.
Barely any rap.
No rap.
But it's coming. I'm a rapper, so take that. That's all you get for now.
Sports is more important, though, right now. There's a couple of rap questions here. We've answered some rap.
Yeah, I've talked some rap.
We've talked some rap.
Ask more rap.
However, keeping it on topic, we just answered who we thought our unanimous UFC GOAT was. And we get a question from Dante Douglas once again. Appreciate you, Tay. He says, what's your favorite song / songs from the Baby and Durk album? Now we got some more rap. I appreciated 2040. That's the one that did it for me.
Hats off. Hats off.
Hats off, huh?
That's the one for me.
I was disappointed.
Yuck.
I was disappointed. Didn't like it nearly as much as everybody seemed to appreciate it.
This was like Life of Pablo for me.
I didn't love it. Didn't love it. There were a couple of good songs. Like, I just couldn't get down. I mean, I've listened to the whole tape now a couple of times through, backwards, forwards. I don't know what way I have to listen to it, but I did not.
Just the normal way.
Just the normal way, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do it for me, though.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, we want to hear from you. How about that?
Did you like Lil Baby and Lil Durk's new album?
Do you guys disagree with me and more agree with him?
I liked it. But next question. D-Mac. Yo, shout out D-Mac. That's my boy. Bang. What's going on, bro? Appreciate the question. He says, does Dame leave Portland? If he doesn't, will he ever win a chip there? So 2-part question. Easiest part, if he stays, he doesn't win a championship. I think we can all agree with that.
That's not hard to agree. That's not hard.
Dame isn't winning shit in Portland.
Yeah,
no one's coming there. CJ's staying. That's nice.
That's not going to win you a championship.
Listen, you need a big guy that can dribble, shoot, and defend.
And maybe win a street
And
fight.
there's about 5 of those. Kawhi, LeBron, he's got a couple more years of those.
KD. AD.
Kinda. When
Okay.
he's healthy.
Okay.
Giannis can't shoot, but he's long enough to make up for the shooting. You know, it's like you got a couple those, and that's how you win the championship.
But they're on their teams.
They're not
respective
going
teams.
anywhere.
Right.
So long story short, Dame isn't winning anything in Portland.
So let's answer the hard part of the question.
Does Dame leave Portland?
I hope so. I hope so. Can I say I hope so? Is that a sufficient way to answer the question? I hope he goes to L.A.
I'm telling you that he's not.
I'm talking about L.A. like the Lakers because Bronzo needs help. Have I said that enough? LeBron needs help.
Dame doesn't care about winning.
Gosh, the Nets have way too much firepower. It's not fair.
The obvious answer is for Dame to go to LA, but I don't think he cares about winning.
And that's also sad. So why doesn't he just stay in Portland and lose and soak up all the money and just shoot a couple of half-court shots every couple of seasons and think he's a wannabe Steph Curry and we just all say, oh,
That's what he's going to do.
that's what he's going to keep doing, huh?
Yep.
Next question. We've got the Mr. Fantastic. Thanks, Ben. This is an old high school friend that has now transpired into the MMA ring, and he's quite flexible.
Wait, what? He fights?
Yes.
That's dope. I'm going to take a pee. I'll be right
Yep.
back.
So,
Hey, hold it down.
at the 5? Why not? Right now, how he's playing, I'm throwing him at my 5. He asked, chances of Jon Jones taking over the heavyweight division? High. He's got high chances. Upwards of 75%, and that's high chances for a fight. If you've got 75% chances of winning a fight, those are some pretty decent odds.
Assuming he fights, right?
Yeah, and assuming we get a contract signed.
I agree.
Do you agree with my percentage? Because he said, what are the chances? So you need to throw a chance out there
Jon Jones.
of taking over the division. Yeah, that doesn't need to be in your mouth, right? What are we doing? It's amateur hour out here? What are we doing?
Jon Jones should not be fighting Francis.
I think he's got a 75% chance of beating him and then just taking over the whole division, bro.
Yeah, I still wouldn't fight him.
Yeah, but that's you.
John,
You wouldn't even fight Jake Paul, bro. Yeah. I mean, of course you're not fighting Francis
I'd fight a
Ngannou.
lot more of these niggas than you.
Bro, okay, but you...
Just not Jake.
I would fight Jake. Sign me up for Jake, bro.
You're
What's
crazy.
up, Jake?
You're crazy.
Sign me up for Jake. Forget Francis. Me and Francis are friends, bro. Francis and I are good friends. Jake, forget it.
I got a question.
Why is that back in your mouth?
Sorry. Anyway. What do you think? All right. This question comes from Caden Barrett, a former baseball teammate of mine.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, KBZ? That was my boy.
I'm going to pass it to my boy, Caden Barrett. If you guys know about that, you're an OG.
Yeah. Chances of anyone knowing that are
Slim to none. But if you do,
they're low enough to lose us followers.
epic. No, it's not.
Or listeners.
Disgusting.
I'm not going to worry about things of that nature.
Yeah, what? Caden Barrett says.
Yeah, I was going to start yelling penis.
Oh, my Lord.
What do you think about D. Wade being part owner of the Jazz? And do you think him being there will attract more stars out to Utah? No.
But I like it more than, Paul Pierce owning any team. Did you know that Paul Pierce was talking about owning some part of an NBA franchise while he was on a live stream with a bunch of cheap strippers?
Wait, what the fuck?
And then he got fired from ESPN. Did you guys know he got fired from ESPN?
Yeah.
Did you know why?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the video? Did you hear him say he was going to own an NBA team in that video? He was on some drugs.
Who was that drugs with the Floyd fight?
We can't hear you, bro. Nobody can hear you over that an hour later. Take it out of your mouth. Stop putting it in. The thing's smacking your lips.
Paul Pierce was on drugs at the Floyd fight.
He was at the Floyd fight? They let him in there?
On drugs.
Triller lets anybody into their events.
And lets him do anything.
Yeah, you can do anything you want in a Triller fight.
Including box versus Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, or make terrible jokes.
Is that what I
hours
did?
on end. No, I'm talking about the terrible people they invite on and make terrible shows out of. I'm done with questions, so
No more for you.
I'm done. Thank you guys.
More for me. Thank you, everybody who submitted to Saturated.
Thanks everybody who submitted to Bombs Touchdowns.
But even more thanks to those who submitted to Saturated, keeping this podcast rolling. This should be good nighttime listening, I imagine. I imagine myself having a soothing voice. What do you think, Rams?
I think you should write a children's book.
A children's book.
And then you should also do the voiceover. So kids can listen at night. Perfect voice for it, yeah.
So those of you who can't hear D-Rams like me, which is every last person, D-Ram said I should write a children's book and then do a voiceover for it and then speak to them like this. What were we talking about?
Bird got so carried away and making his voice so soothing that he actually almost drifted off there.
Almost fell asleep.
Here we go. Back to questions. We're looking for questions here. Do you remember that?
Okay, so here we go. Next question is...
You can't.
No, I'm not going to do
your
it.
mouth.
All right, here we go. The next question is, does Saturated ever come out of retirement? Unlikely.
Wow.
Unlikely.
You guys should have asked for a percent chance. Then he would have listed all.
And they're not even loving me while I'm gone as much as I thought they would. If we're being honest. They gonna love me when I'm gone, man. After all the times that I said zone. This is gonna be my final poem. Nah, niggas ain't appreciate my bars, bro.
They weren't listening.
Yeah, no. If I ever came back, I wouldn't tell y'all niggas anyway. So, no, not coming out. I appreciate everybody tuning into the podcast, though.
Keep listening.
Getting better at this.
This is what we're doing now.
I'm here with my brother.
Here we are.
No rhymes. Just good time.
Oh.
Just good
moments.
I can't even.
He wants to put that back in his mouth so bad. Oh.
And I will.
There it is.
Next question.
Yeah, good luck. Remember that soothing thing you guys were talking about? Just keep listening.
How do you think the NBA will fare as LeBron ages out? You go. I'm going to eat this for a second. How do you think the NBA will fare as LeBron ages out?
Who asked that question?
This question comes from... Oh, no, we're not talking about him. I accidentally asked this question. Next question.
Sorry, John. I tried. I tried so hard. That was a good question, John.
The next question comes from P Making Plays. He says, who do y'all think is going to come out the West? Referring to the NBA playoffs.
It's going to be the Clippers. It's going to be the Clips.
They barely made it out the first round.
Yeah, but they're going to make it out, and they're going to get washed away by Brooklyn, and it's going to be great.
I'm going with the Suns.
It doesn't matter who comes out of the West.
They're losing to the Nets.
It doesn't. Basically, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry,
Losing to
Pinky
the
Blinders. Who asked that question? Pink,
P making
two in the
plays. P making plays.
Sorry.
That's my boy though.
Sorry. Next question. The Nick Ambrosio. Is that how we pronounce it? Ambrosio? Ambrosio asks, who do you think the Lakers will be trying to get in the offseason? I hope it's Dame. It should be Dame Dollar. I don't want anyone else.
I should be going for Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal is also
Is he available?
someone I might like, actually. I take that back. Bradley Beal is a good team player. I imagine he'd fit in well.
No way you can post it. I'm just like digging my mouth. I'm posting it anyway.
Yeah, but who told you to eat the now or later? Not the audience.
gotta live with
the
it.
audience didn't ask for this.
Gotta live with your consequences. We make our own choices.
And we live with them.
Anyway. Dame Lillard. We're gonna speed through these last few questions.
Because we still got another topic to talk about.
We're still talking that?
You don't want to do that?
Yeah, no, let's do it.
You want to jump to it right now?
No. All questions will be answered for episode 1. No doubts about that. We appreciate all questions. But we're speeding through the rest.
Which ones did we not answer?
It goes up. So, after the next question comes from Cold World, Cold Blooded. Where does Justin Gaethje fit into the lightweight title picture?
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great question. We've got to do some matchmaking, right?
I'll start with this. He needs to fight Michael Chandler. That's the obvious fight, right? Winner of Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje gets the title shot. I think that fight should be the title fight over Dustin.
Why? Why?
Well,
because Michael Chandler just got the shot for the title.
now they just both appear to be better than both Justin and Conor.
But the fact is he just got the shot at the title. So why would that be made the next fight for the title? I think Gaethje does fight Michael Chandler, but I don't think that should be for the contender. I think that should
Unless Conor McGregor wins.
That should be for the number 1 spot after. Yeah, actually, unless Conor wins.
Mm-hmm.
So if Conor beats,
which he will.
If Conor beats Dustin, then he should face the winner of Chandler versus Gaethje, right? But Gaethje Chandler happens regardless, right? And then we can see who's the real number 1 contender, because Dustin's going to beat him, and he's the rightful one to challenge for the title after all, because he's been snubbed a lot of opportunities here. Anyway, he's climbed a lot of mountains, defeated a lot of challenges. He's deserved his title. All of that to say that Dustin is very deserving of a title shot. Justin Gaethje, falls below Dustin Poirier, right? That's where he fits in the title shot, anywhere below Dustin. So Dustin gets the first shot. If he loses to McGregor, then the shot should go to the winner of Michael Chandler versus Gaethje versus McGregor, which may win.
Which may lead us to our next question. This is a good question. Get some pep in your step. Get ready, because this is a question from someone in the Sports and Rap Podcast studio. The nigga who already had a question is looking at the nigga who hasn't. So who's had a question? Who has it? D-Rams just realized it's his question. That nigga said, I done realize. I'm like, damn, I asked 2 questions. And the nigga that already asked the question said, damn, I asked 2 questions. Yo, I love my niggas. So, one of the niggas I love asked, what was the best/worst part of your college athlete experience? Will we ever see bombs on the mic?
Ooh.
Music emoji?
Ooh. Wow. That's a great question.
Right.
Are we both answering this?
You first.
Okay.
You first.
Best part of my college athletic experience. Wow. What's up, Marist? Best part of the experience.
I had to be there. No, I'm not going to make biased. Maybe I was there, though.
Definitely one of those was the time that my brother and my family came up to watch my game. I got in, did well, but we lost that game pretty badly because I wasn't, in that game significantly. However, there was a game that I had some significant time in that is my best experience thus far, in which we won. The last game of our junior year, we sent sophomore year. We didn't have a junior season. Fuck that. But the last game of our sophomore season, we sent our seniors out on a good note. We won our last game of the season, which was cool. That was my best experience.
Best part of my college experience as an athlete, and what was my worst part of my college experience as an athlete? Do I have to just pick one? You're here. Do I have to just pick one?
You gotta go both like he did.
Yeah, one best, one worst.
It doesn't have to be like specific. He said everything outside of that was the worst.
All right. So I'll pick no more than 2 or 3. Narrow down, I would have to say best part of my college basketball experience was, one, the bus rides.
That's good stuff right there.
I love the bus rides.
That's a genuine answer. That's good. Enjoy your time, guys. Listen.
I sat on the back of the bus, but not next to the bathroom. It was a prime spot.
Back of the bus, no Rosa Parks.
And I have one of my former college teammates here with me. He can attest. I did. And it was a time I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it not when I was just the guy at the back of the bus, not before the bathroom. Because I'm going to be honest, that spot means, you're that nigga. You're in the back. Say what you want. Pick on niggas. Yell shit to the front. But you're not right next to the toilet. It's a good spot. Leg room there too. And an outlet. And not anybody can sit there.
Right.
Because if you're there,
that's prime seating.
and I'm me,
that's first class.
And I'm a junior who starts, and I'm got my stats with me, you got to get up. But that's not just why I enjoyed the trips. Because I used to be a freshman. And the other freshmen had to double seat.
Not me.
But I understood it.
That was the worst. That was the worst hazing that they did. And I stayed in my seat. That's how they treated me. I knew my place as a lowly freshman.
Listen. John had to double up. John had to double up.
There's John's mention of the only John mention of the podcast.
And I felt it for you, John. But I was also the sophomore who had the middle of the road. And I was close to the cool seniors. And the cool junior named Sag.
The cool junior?
He was the one. So then I went to the back of the bus with him as a junior. And we made fun of everyone. And we laughed as loud as we could.
That's good. That's a good experience.
I can't put these in order.
Okay.
But once upon a time, I dropped 34 in under 30 minutes. I was 70% shooting. And my whole family was there. And about 20, 30 niggas from my high school. It was on Thanksgiving break, so no students were there. So we was deep. But we lost. So that's why I can't. That's definitely not number one, but it has to make the list.
You got buckets.
You don't drop 34 in front of your friends and family in college every day. It was special. We took pictures after. I had a good time. I just wish we won the game. Number one.
You got 1 minute.
It must be that Barry game.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It was the circumstances surrounded. It's a long story I'll have to get into another time. But the Barry game, that's a good one.
That's a good time.
Last set of questions coming up next.
Good stuff.
Jesus, 5 to 7 minutes. Finish this bitch up. It's been dope. And we won't talk Tyron Woodley in that. We'll just
use what we
yeah,
did.
no, this is plenty, nigga. We've been going for hours.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it done then.
Started the recorder for my nigga. All right. Very last segment. It's been super dope. We just have a couple more questions. I thank everybody for tuning in. Whether you're listening to the shortened version, whether you've made it all the way through the full podcast, the first full sports and rap podcast, we thank you for tuning in. We got a couple more questions. We're going to answer them. And then that's it. So if you want to join the discussion, if you want us to answer your question next time, send us a DM, comment a question, or leave us a review on Facebook or Sports and Rap at, you know what's going on here, buddy. All right? It's getting late.
You guys know what to do.
It's getting late. But I still got my energy.
Let's hammer these out.
Next question.
Also, one more. Let me interject with one of my questions. Paco E. Smith asks, in all caps, is Wilt the GOAT? 4 question marks. We've had lots of discussions about this. I believe Wilt Chamberlain to be the closest thing to a demigod we've ever had walking this earth. It's just the facts.
Yeah.
He ran track. He did the high jump. He did the long jump. He ran a 4.640. He jumped
4.540.
4.540. He jumped from
records
behind,
for the 400
he
meter
jumped,
dash at
He jumped
UCLA
from behind
University.
the free throw line and used to dunk the basketball. They invented the rule that you can't jump over the free throw line because Wilt used to dunk his free throws. I think he's the closest thing we've ever had. So that's a great question, Paco.
If you call him the GOAT, I'm not saying no.
I'd believe it to be true. He's on my Mount Rushmore, right? I put him there for a reason.
Does anybody disagree with Wilt Chamberlain being?
It's hard to do. We can move on.
I want you to think about the physical athlete that was Wilt Chamberlain amongst the league. You have to understand. Everybody was at the next closest person. There was a crazy player named Elgin Baylor, and one season he averaged 38. But the rest of the time, everybody else was averaging 29. The next leading scorer, 34 points, just like today's NBA.
And think about it.
But then there was this guy named Wilt Chamberlain, and he was averaging 50 points and 25 rebounds. He was completely different than the rest. He was 7'1". He weighed almost 300 pounds, but he could run a 4.540. But he could bench 500 pounds on record working out with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And outlifting him from Arnold's mouth. Outlifting him.
He was not human.
Outlifting him. With the Wilt Chamberlain archive, go look it up on YouTube. Unbelievable stories. One time he blocked a ball so hard, it came down with the force upon a man's foot. It shattered his foot. He was so embarrassed that he couldn't go out that possession. He acted like he hurt his foot the next possession, so he wasn't so embarrassed that people saw that it was Wilt Chamberlain's block that broke his foot. Another true story. Go look it up. Imagine that you watch Wilt Chamberlain's basketball game so much, and they don't record blocks, right? They don't even know what a block is. They're like, go into the games, they're like, this guy's stopping people from shooting the shot before it even gets up. He's doing it so often. We have to record how often he's doing this. He's changing the game he invented the block stat, people. He invented the block. What are we talking about?
You can't not have Wilt Chamberlain on your NBA Mount Rushmore.
I mean, what are we talking about?
They widened the lane because of Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain used to stand. This is another fact. Wilt Chamberlain used to stand with one leg on each side of the lane, catch the ball, and just stand there, turn around, and shoot it.
You thought he had 3 seconds? No. I got 24 down there, baby.
He could stand there. Oh, then they said, okay, now we need to add a 3-second rule. Now we need to make this lane so wide that people
can't straddle it.
They can't realistically straddle it. Wilt Chamberlain changed the game of basketball. Don't tell me he's not on Mount Rushmore.
Next topic.
The next question comes from my boy, Official Gray Lee. He says,
What up, Gray?
Why hasn't Kendrick dropped anything new? You think he's plotting something big? Honestly, anytime Kendrick drops, it's going to be something big.
Right, it's always big.
He's always plotting something big. But I heard something about a creative agency. I don't know too much about it, but I feel like he's had his focus on a lot of other projects. But I need him to rap. So
Same here, and I know even less. So, sorry, Gray.
that's it, Gray.
Next question.
With someone wanting... Okay, next. This is a good question. So
From who?
I'm going to give you my energy. The next question is from Joe DiMaggio. With someone wanting to get into YouTube/vlog/podcast, what would you say is the toughest part in the transfer between juggling your main source of income and side hustle? Love you, bro, and wish more blessings y'all's way. Thank you, DiMaggio.
Great question.
Well, honestly, there's no good formula. You gotta lose sleep. I mean, as far as me, when you're creating something, you just gotta go for it. I just go and I go and I go, and then I get tired, and my body has to sleep. And then you have to wake up, and you have to go, and you have to go, and you have to go. You know, you have to do the research, figure out what it takes. Maybe you already know, and start doing the shit, and accomplish meaningful shit consistently. But I don't really know shit, bro. I'm just a rapper who didn't make it in rapping, and now he's podcasting. So that's the best I got. Next up, we got Dante Douglas. He says, what are the top 3 songs from Lil Baby and Lil Durk album? We'll split this between both of us. Number 1, Hats Off.
2040.
Voice of the Heroes.
How It Feels.
And that's 4. Say no more. Q Jones says, should Dame go to the Lakers?
You already know it.
He should. He won't.
Shout out Q Gotham Jones.
Yeah, let me not brush past that.
Say, let's not run by that guy.
It's the end of the pod.
Huge.
But
news
huge shout
for
out to
him.
Pong.
Huge news for him.
Gotham Jones.
New Lehigh assistant defensive back coach. Let's get 3 claps for that. That's good.
Congratulations, my brother.
Shout out Jones.
I've known Q for a long time, and I'm very happy to see his success. So
That's awesome.
definitely deserves the time on my first episode of
No doubt.
our first episode
Shout
of this
out
podcast.
Shout out Gotham Jones.
Shout out Q. And guess what? The final question that we have to answer is perfect. From Josh the dog.
Is this Holderfield?
No.
Oh.
The final question from Josh the dog 183. This person asks, what's Royce doing?
Are you talking about the rapper or the dog?
Nope. I'll answer this. This person is talking about my dog, Royce, who is named after Royce the 5'9". I used to share an apartment complex with this person. They had a dog named Josh, and Royce and Josh were friends.
So can Royce come in now?
No.
Yeah.
Royce is.
Not allowed in here.
I'll answer your question. Royce is in the other room,
Patiently waiting. Probably on the couch like a bad dog.
wishing she could be here.
You're right, yeah?
Apparently, she's on my couch. I miss Josh, Royce's friends. I miss all of Royce's friends. Thanks for asking that question.
We appreciate all your questions.
We appreciate everybody who made it to the end of the podcast,
Yeah,
and
if you made
everybody
it
who
this far,
didn't make it here.
Wow. Even if you clicked on us and followed us, we appreciate that too. You probably didn't hear this part, but that's okay. We appreciate the people the most that made it here.
This was the first time me and my brother took the step, did something new, started talking in front of microphones, and put out a podcast. Video, audio for the world to see. It's dope. I'm happy to be coming back to the world with my brother. I'm happy to be talking sports and rap with everybody who's listening. And I'm happy to be putting my foot on niggas' necks going forward because I'm here. And anytime I do some shit, niggas better watch out and take notes. And I'm doing it with my brother. He's more talented than me. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is the Sports and Rap Podcast. Love, peace, unity, all of that good shit. Follow, subscribe. Peace. Zone.
Deuces.